Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. There is a video I would like to make with respect to LeetCode and the sort of mindset we need to have while approaching LeetCode problems. So this video is going to be specifically useful for you if you struggled with the feeling that you know the logic, you know the logical answer for a problem, but for some reason you can't seem to code it out into words. So what I mean by that is, like, you have the algorithm in your head and you know why that is the correct answer, but you when you try and code it out, it doesn't really come out right. Something's wrong, you don't really know what's wrong, and you look at the answers and you look at the solution, and the solution has kind of done the same thing, but you don't know why that worked and why your answer didn't work, and you spend another like half an hour trying to find the bug in your own solution before you finally give up, right? If you're someone who like struggles with something like that, this video is going to be very helpful, right? Because I feel like I've kind of found the answer for how to solve that. So there are two things I'd like to mention, right? The first and foremost thing is whether or not you can solve a problem doesn't matter, right? What that means is whether or not you get the green tick beside your LeetCode solution, or whether or not you manage to submit the solution and all of the test cases work, and you get that +1 out of however many checklists you were looking at. Whether or not that happens does not matter, and the only thing that matters is if you actually understood what the question asked and what the algorithm actually is. The important part is to not try and get the dopamine hit of being able to say you could solve the problem, but instead understanding what the solution really is, so that the next time you see the problem or a variation of the same problem, you know you can solve it, instead of trying to remember memorized code, which never works, by the way. Code is not something which can even be memorized. That's a terrible idea. Like, that makes absolutely no sense, right? Uh, so it's like, you know, try and really understand why something works or why something doesn't work, instead of just trying to submit the answer somehow and just get that credit, because that's far more valuable, I think, because you really learn that way and it's important. But here is the crux of the video, right? Now, I think I've done, okay, so I think I've done enough LeetCode problems to kind of know what I'm talking about here. The approach or the style of thinking that I'm talking about is essentially called algorithmic thinking, right? So algorithmic thinking is not the way the human brain decides to function or work if you ask it to solve a problem. So I think I saw this on a channel called Power Couple. They make tech videos. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and check the video out. But essentially, if I gave you a math puzzle to solve, right, saying find the factorial of a number, the way your brain tends to solve it is different from the way you would tell a computer to solve the problem, right? There's a difference. So let's say you have the logic for an answer, you have the solution in your head, right? You take a piece of pen and paper and you draw out the graph or the diagram or whatever the thing is, and you do the thing, and it works, right? And then you try and you code that same thing out, and it doesn't work, right? The problem is, like, you need to reframe it. Instead of, and I know how I sound, just please bear with me. I think there's value here, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. Instead of trying to put your own logic into code, think about it like you are telling a computer to do certain things such that the answer gets computed, right? And so when you do this, you don't think in terms of the actual logic of the program. You start thinking in terms of edge cases for loops and pointers, and should I increment that one value plus one at the end, or like how would the computer know when to stop this or that? When should I increment this? Like, you start thinking in a very different way, which is not the way you thought about it when you came up with the solution, right? So I'll go back to the example of just like the factorial, right? If someone told you find the factorial of a number, well, what you do is you use the formula. It's basically like you go n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 all the way till 1, and then you multiply the whole thing, and then you get the number, right? But if you were to tell a computer to do this, and I realize that this may not be the best example to really explain what I'm thinking, but hopefully check the video out in the description. It'll give you a more sort of concrete understanding of what I'm talking about. But essentially, when you start writing code, don't just try and put your logic into words. Instead, think of your code as a series of instructions that you want the computer to run, and in order for it to get a particular answer or outcome, because in the end that's all that code is, right? And like I know what I'm saying might sound obvious to some people, but I personally, and some people I know, have really struggled with the fact that we have an algorithm in our head sometimes, like a series of steps, and we just can't seem to put it out into code that works. Like, we kind of sort of do, but it doesn't work for that one edge case, and like we don't know why, because it should work ideally, right? If you start writing code using like this algorithmic approach, where it's not just your own thoughts converted to code, but rather it's a sequence of instructions for the computer to arrive at a particular answer, I think it's gonna make the way of writing LeetCode a lot easier. But yeah, literally that's it for the video. I'm making this video mostly for myself because I have terrible memory, and LeetCode is something that I've been struggling with since I've started, and I finally feel like I've gotten a little bit better at it. But I'm really trying to document what it is that makes me better at it, because just mugging up algorithms, it doesn't work at all. Like, algorithms itself, it doesn't work like that, because A, you're gonna forget over time, and then B, like this problem that I'm talking about, I think this is a big thing. This really helped me, because like that barrier where you're like, I kind of know the answer, but I can't convert it into code. That's like a very like annoying sort of like barrier to have, and I feel like this approach has like broken that barrier. But hey, anyways, some of it, hey, hopefully some of you found that useful, and if you didn't, well, I'll leave a link in the description to another YouTube channel. They're called The Power Couple. They make really good videos around tech and stuff like that. Drop them, go check them out. They have really good stuff. Hopefully some of their videos help you. But yeah, that's been it. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you guys want to see on the channel. Catch you guys in the next one. Hey, bye for now. Have a great day.